Is there any fear that we should have around AI in general? What would you answer to that person?
I think it's not really replacing jobs, it's enhancing them, improving the quality of the responses for the guest, as well as streamlining operations.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes next.
Welcome back to the Bruce Lee podcast. This podcast gives you the tools, the tactics, the training, and most importantly, the confidence so you can go out there and get more direct bookings. And we're doing the Spotlight series. So this is where we look at businesses, services, things that you as a host should be aware of. And if you're not aware of them, you certainly will be shortly. So for the next sort of 20 or 30 minutes, we're going to dive into a business, and we've got a very special guest to talk to us about it. And you'll hear this everywhere at the moment, and we've been hearing it for a while, but AI is really changing the future. It's making our businesses easier. And today we've got a guest who's talking all about AI. So let me welcome Cole Rubin. He's the CEO of HostAI. This is going to be a really exciting podcast. I've been really excited and looking forward to this. So let's welcome Cole along. Cole, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Mark, too. Excited to dig into HostAI.
Awesome. HostAI, I mean, let's start off at the most basic question. What is HostAI?
So HostAI is a tool that integrates to your PMS to help you automate guest messages, save time for you and your team as a host, boost SEO with fast reply times, as well as improve guest satisfaction with quick, accurate responses.
Amazing. So basically it helps hosts in a number of different ways. What did you do before this, and how did HostAI get born?
Before this, I've been involved with real estate from a pretty young age, from around 19 years old, studied real estate in college, was on a more corporate commercial real estate path, and kind of after college got involved investing in short-term rentals, fell in love with it, doubled down on it, and was eventually able to quit my 9-to-5 solely on Airbnbs. Was managing others, and found guest messaging to be the most time-consuming part of the whole operation until AI technology came around. The only other way to outsource this was with virtual assistants, other employees. You had to train them. They're expensive. They needed sleep, so you needed kind of two people to have 24/7 coverage. So there was really not anything to solve this problem until AI technology came around. And with my co-founder / CTO, we built a very rudimentary version of the product, was using it on my personal listings, and it was working really well. So we put our heads together and figured out how we could bring this to the market. And we did that through these PMS integrations.
Is there any fear that we should have around AI in general? What would you answer to that person?
I think it's not really replacing jobs, it's enhancing them, improving the quality of the responses for the guests, as well as streamlining operations. Now, a messaging agent doesn't have to look through the PMS and an external database to find an answer to a question. HostAI aggregates all that, populates an answer pretty much instantly, and they can simply just approve the message and carry on with their other work. So it saves them a lot of time, makes current employees more efficient, as well as creating better responses for guests.
How does it work? So I'm a host myself. What have I got to do, and how involved have I got to be with HostAI?
Super simple to set up. You'll go on hostai.app, make an account. You'll connect your property management software, just copy and paste the API key over, and import all your listings. Doing that will pull all your listings, all their information, all your notes, your calendar availability. So guest asks, can I extend my stay 2 nights? We can check your calendar and answer that instantly. We pull the pricing. Guest asks, how much is a stay for X to Y dates 6 months in the future? We can answer that. You'll go in to HostAI, connect an external database if you have that, whether that's a Notion file with extra info, Google Sheet, Airtable, etc. So the more info we can feed into HostAI, the more it's going to be able to answer, the more it's going to be able to automate. If it doesn't know something, It's not going to make an assumption. So the more we can feed it, the better it's going to be. And then you'll set the handful of settings we have in HostAI. It's not too much. Can connect it to SMS, Slack, or WhatsApp to respond to things HostAI doesn't know. You'll get a Slack notification, WhatsApp text, or normal text. Hey, there's an urgent message at this property. We need your help responding. And you'll just text back, and HostAI will learn from that instance and facilitate sending that message off to the guest for you. So it's kind of like a set it up on the web app, integrate it to your existing tech stack through Slack, WhatsApp, SMS, and you kind of just only have to step in when you're needed.
How do we police the answer? There's a certain level of control as hosts that we like to have. How can we be sure that the answer is given is going to be the right one? And is there any control we've got over that?
Yeah, if you want to control it, you can set autopilot off, where all non-urgent messages will be one-click approval. So you get to just in Slack, click a button, approve message, and it'll go to the guest. So you still maintain full control over what the guest is getting.
If it gets asked questions then that it doesn't know, what would happen?
If it's something that, if like a guest asks, hey, where's the closest vegan restaurant? That's something that we could find on the internet. So it would do a call and answer that. But if it was something like really nuanced to the property, like, hey, where's the toaster in the kitchen? It's not going to know that from any data you have in the PMS. It's just going to ask you, hey, where's the toaster in the kitchen? You're going to say it's in the left cupboard next to the fridge. And then HostAI learns from that. And next time a guest asks, hey, where's the toaster? It knows. If it doesn't know something, it's not going to make an assumption. It's just going to lean on the safer side, ask you. And then over time, when all the little quirks, nuances come up for each property and you've responded once, you have a fully trained model on the house.
What is the kind of X factor for HostAI?
We have developed this urgency tagging system where we're not trying to say we're going to automate 100% of guest messages, because we believe there's some stuff that shouldn't be automated. Like when a guest is really unsatisfied or something's broken, AI should not respond to that. AI should tell the host something's up so the host can fix the situation in real life and then respond to the guest. And this system we developed is fully customizable. For example, if you wanted to tag all wedding and corporate retreat requests as urgent, you could do that. So HostAI knows whenever someone asks about that, it knows not to speak up. Nice. And then aside from that, we've really just focused on having the highest quality messages created compared to the competitors. That's the core feature we're focusing right now, is just best quality messages. And we've tested a couple others and they do a good job, but I think we're pulling the most data from the PMS, where we know calendar availability, pricing, and we just can respond to more questions than the rest.
One of the things you mentioned earlier on, which is the PMS connections. You mentioned API, and this is something which here at Boostly, because we love direct bookings and we're always talking about how importantly having an API connection to your direct booking website is just as important for your messaging through HostAI. Talk us more around that API and the sort of PMSs which it works with. Is there any kind of limitations at the moment?
We currently are integrated with Guesty, HostAway. HostAway is coming soon. They're all on our roadmap to work through. We're kind of just going for the ones with the most users, work our way down. The one limitation for integrations is we need a messaging endpoint to send and receive messages. There's a couple PMSs out there that don't have those yet. They're working on it, but it's not done yet. So that is one limitation. And then things we're pulling from the PMS API is pricing, calendar availability, all the listing details, your custom fields, and the big one is access to the unified inbox so we can send and receive messages.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.